Quoterians, I am going to show you just an easy way to dig into the original language of a verse in the New Testament. So we would be looking at the Greek original language. And these are just a couple of little like beginning entry level things that you can do. So we're going to go to Blue Letter Bible, blueletterbible.org. So when the page pulls up, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to look at Acts 12 space 4. You don't even have to put the colon in, and then press. And I've got the Bible selected here. I've selected the King James Version, and then you just click this little arrow. Okay, and it's going to pull up that verse and the whole chapter actually. So let me read this real quick. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. So what we're going to look at, I'm interested in quaternions and I'm interested in Easter. So I'm going to put my mouse over here to the far left on Tools, and this little pop-up will appear, and we're going to go straight to Interlinear. And then it brings up a new screen, and you'll see that it actually gives us all of the pop-up sources right here on tabs. So over here on the far left, the English words are vertically down through here, but I don't like it that way, so I'm going to click on Forward in Line, and it will make it look like this, and you can read across in the English. So first we're going to see what quaternions is. And there's the Greek word, in several different versions. But right here is the Strong's number and a link, and we're going to click on that. Now, I want to tell you that Strong's is not a dictionary. Strong's is merely a list of all of the times that this word was translated in the Bible. And I'm not sure, I'll have to look it up. I'm not sure what translation they go off. Well, I think you can get them for like just the new King James or different other versions. But it tells you how many times that word appears in the Bible. And then it tells you all the different ways that it was translated, because every word can have multiple meanings, especially in Greek and Hebrew. So I'm going to click on the Strong's link. And here they're showing what the original word was. And then if we'll go straight across, we can click on this and it will tell us how to pronounce that word.
Strong's G 5069. Tetradion. Tetradion.
Okay, so then it gives us part of speech and things like that. And we scroll on down, and dictionary aids, Vine's expository dictionary. So that'll give us some commentary on it, but we'll come back to that in a minute. And down here, under Thayer's. Thayer's is one of my favorite dictionaries or lexicons. I think it is one of the most accurate. And so we'll see here, it says in dark and bolded letters, a quaternion is a guard consisting of 4 soldiers, and that this was common among the Romans when you had custody of a captive or a prisoner. You would have 2 soldiers assigned with the prisoner and 2 kept guard outside. And then they would have 4 groups of these during the night so they could all switch out for each watch. So that lets us know that there were 16 soldiers assigned to Peter at this time. So that's kind of neat to know. And we'll go back up here and click on Vine's Expository Dictionary right there. Click on View Entry. And it gives us some real good information. It gives us some of that same information we just read. So let's go back to, John 1:7. I'm going to go ahead and go back so we can get back to that other screen. Okay. Now let's go to John. Oh, wait, I forgot to do Easter. Okay, let's go back. And this is really important. So here's the word Easter. We're going to click on the Strong's number, G3957. And the word is, now I pronounce it Pascha. Let's see.
Strong's G 3957. Pascha. Pascha.
Okay. So we're going to scroll down. This tells us in the King James Version how many times was this translated a certain way. And we'll see that one time it was translated Easter. All the other times, 28 times, it was translated Passover. And that makes sense because this word, Pascha, means Passover. I have no idea why they translated it Easter because there was no Easter during that time. Easter came along and was invented by the Catholics. And if you're talking about a Jewish Jesus, a Jewish Hebrew context and culture, you would say Passover. And he was going to release him on Passover, not Easter. Passover would have been on a Saturday. Easter would have been on a Sunday. They're two different things. And if you'll go down to the Thayer's Greek lexicon, and remember, Thayer's is much more accurate than Strong's, it says Paschal sacrifice, the Paschal lamb, and gives lots of information on that. So there should never have been the word Easter in the King James Version. Now you'll also find out, let me go back. There's somewhere you can see what all of the other, and if you scroll on down, it'll show you all the places it was translated that way. And let's look at Vine's Expository Dictionary. This is very interesting. It says, mistranslated Easter. It actually denotes the Passover. So that is very, very important. It says the term Easter is not of Christian origin. It is another form of Astarte, one of the titles of the Chaldean goddess, the Queen of Heaven. So this is telling us that Easter comes from a pagan goddess, and that this was mistranslated. The King James should have never translated that as Easter. So let's go back and let's do John 1:7. Oh, you got to click the little arrow. Hitting enter won't work. Okay, let's read it. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. We'll go to Tools, Interlinear, and I'm going to go here and change it to forward in line right here in the middle. And I'm going to go down to believe. And I'm going, and the word is pistuio or whatever that is. We'll find out in a minute. I'm going to click on the Strong's link. And let's see how that is actually pronounced.
Strong's G 4100. Pistuo. Pistuo.
Okay. And it's a verb. And we'll see here the translation count. It shows, that's right here in the middle, all the different ways it has been translated. Most of them are believe. And the outline of biblical usage, it says to think to be true. But it also says place confidence in. And the reason I wanted to look at this, and down here on Thayer's, it says the same thing. It gives all of that technological stuff about the verb structure and all that kind of stuff that I don't understand. But it says to place confidence in, to have confidence. And it says to think to be true. So here's the thing. This is where the difference in the culture makes a huge difference. The Greek culture believed that what we thought was more important than what we do. And the Hebrew culture believes that thought is useless without action. Hebrews, they are a people of action. There is importance on what you do. And so believing, just thinking something to be true, would be a Greek concept. But placing confidence in is action. It's more than just thinking something is true. It means you have absolute confidence in God. You just don't believe He exists. You place your confidence completely in Him. So that is just another way to see what it really means. Vine's Expository Dictionary says to be persuaded of, to place confidence in, to trust, to rely upon, not mere credence. So it means much more than just believing in something. It means to completely rely upon God, to completely trust in Him. So that is very interesting. There's a lot of things you can find in just this very simple little step on the Blue Letter Bible. I'm going to do it one more time real quick. You just go to blueletterbible.org, and then up here you search for a verse, or you can search for a whole passage if you want. We're going to put in Acts 12 space 4. Click the little arrow. And we're going to go over to Tools and choose Interlinear. And then I like to change the format right here, forward in line, and then find whatever word you're looking for and click on the Strong's link with the little G in front of it. And when you click on that, then you have access to the things about the original language, how you pronounce it, whether it's a verb or a noun. It also gives you the root word. It gives you this Vine's Expository Dictionary entry, which is pretty enlightening. It's got some really good stuff. It's worth looking at. It tells you how many times it has been translated that way in the King James. And it gives some biblical usage. And these are all the Strong's definitions, but go down here to the Thayer's Greek Lexicon and look at their dictionary entries, and then you can see all the other places it's been translated like that. So, and you can also click up here. I've gone up to the top screen over towards the right. Click where it says King James, and you can search another version to look at and see how it has been translated. Let's look at the NLT, and I'm going to go back so I can see the whole sentence written out. Well, it won't let me. Let's see. It's in this screen. Let's go to NLT. And then we'll see a different version here. So I hope that was helpful. That is just a good beginning way to start looking at the original languages just by going to blueletterbible.org online. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions.